Imagine walking down your street on a regular afternoon. Suddenly, a completely healthy person walking next to you slumps to the ground. The slumber is heavy and unbreakable. It holds victims hostage for days on end, regardless of their age or physical condition. This scenario unfolded across the remote plains of northern Kazakhstan in an isolated settlement called Kalachi. With its unpaved, dusty roads and small, modest homes, it looks like any other rural community. But these events were documented reality. Healthy residents were dropping where they stood, shattering the safety of an ordinary neighborhood. When these individuals finally did open their eyes, they woke in a state of profound cognitive confusion, often unable to remember their own names or the events of the previous days. Many suffered intense, vivid hallucinations. Their brains struggled to process reality, leaving them disoriented and fearful in their own homes. The affliction showed no pattern. It struck children playing outside, adults sitting at their desks, and entire families gathered inside these uniform concrete apartments. Parents became afraid to send their kids out to play, living with the knowledge that at any moment, their own bodies could simply shut down. Because the symptoms were so severe and the victims so arbitrary, a localized anomaly transformed into a terrifying public health crisis. As international media descended on the town, scientists and public health officials arrived to find a community paralyzed by fear and desperate for answers. Suspicion immediately fell on the decaying industrial ruins that loom over the region. Specifically, residents pointed to the abandoned uranium mines. Rumors of radiation poisoning and toxic leaks dominated the public conversation. Investigators began a systematic process of elimination. They started with the ground itself, extracting samples from the dry earth. The results showed that the soil was entirely clear of radioactive contamination. Medical teams also analyzed local water supplies. They found zero evidence of infectious viral pathogens or waterborne chemicals. Eliminating the obvious suspects only deepened the terror. The threat was real, but it remained entirely invisible. Having ruled out the ground and the water, researchers deployed environmental monitoring stations to test the air itself. The sensors picked up fluctuating data that pointed to a new hypothesis. Highly concentrated pockets of unseen gas were occasionally settling over the landscape. The air data identified a surge in carbon monoxide. As materials inside the abandoned uranium shafts decayed, they released the gas into the atmosphere. Because carbon monoxide is heavy, it pooled into the basements and low-lying residential areas of the town. This created a condition of oxygen displacement. The pooling gas literally pushed breathable air away from the residents, starving their brains and triggering the sudden sleep state. While the testing provided a clean, scientific answer, mystery stories often resist nuanced data. Public fear remained high even after the cause was found. There was no curse and no deliberate poisoning. The culprit was simply the silent, deadly mechanics of the town's own atmosphere. Knowing the cause of the gas displacement doesn't erase the trauma of having lived through it. Scientific discovery does not begin with answers. It begins with profound confusion and a slow, methodical attempt to understand the unknown. It raises a lingering question. How many other bizarre public health events are currently waiting for science to catch up? We are often surrounded by invisible forces that dictate our health long before we realize they are there. Thanks for watching this episode of... If you want to keep questioning the unseen world around you, like this video and subscribe to the channel for more investigations.